Hey guys, another quick video for you. This time it's this car, a little bit closer to my heart. This is the one that I built for my dad, who's since passed sadly, but I built this for him about 4 years ago. I think it was four or five, and sent it back to New Zealand where he drove it, for in his retirement in his latter years, and got to show it off quite a bit. So he enjoyed that. But yeah, here it is. This car was featured on the front cover of Mustang's Monthly. So yeah, it's a pretty car. We did didn't have a huge budget for it, so it's not like super exotic in the engine or anything like that. But a lot of time, a lot of man hours went into it. And I'll kind of go through that with you as we look at the car. But yeah, it's got a full TMI interior, which is really nice. The aftermarket bucket seats, the full door panels, rather than just the little door panels the Mustangs usually have. So yeah, did spend a bit of money on the interior, but I think it was well worth it. It looks really nice. I get a lot of comments on the interior with that tan and then the black carpets in there. Makes a nice contrast. Look in there, it's got the black carpets. That kind of makes that interior pop that little bit more. We squeezed in as big a wheels as we could. So all the rear fenders are rolled under here. You don't have the the lips hanging in. We did a lot of work on the bumpers. Come in here a little bit. You see the bumpers are all tucked and mono coloured. They're body coloured. But all the gaps here are really tight. All these kind of gaps are really tight. Did a lot of work on making it stand out. Not so much because of how much noise it made, but how good it looked. So coming to the front wheel arches, I always have a bit of trouble with tyre clearances on these because we've got it sitting pretty low. I actually cut the wheel arches off and lifted them up. Normally they're about an inch lower, so we brought them up as high as we could without disturbing this body line. So yeah, we got a bit more room there. Yeah, and you'll see all the gaps are really tight, really perfect. Spent a lot of time doing that. A lot of very sharp, crisp edges on the body line. Now, you Mustang buffs will notice that this hood doesn't really match. That is these lights here, these turn signal hoods. That's out of a 67 or 8 Mustang. And what I did was graft that into the 65 hood to make a point of difference. It's kind of fun when you're showing it. You'll see Mustang guys walk by and they do a double take. They see the 67 blinker hood and think, hang on, that's not a 67. So that's a bit of fun. You can mess with people a bit on that. I've told people it was a Canadian export model and just stuff like that, messing with people. Yeah, we put the GT grill on it. This was, when I first got this, it was, let's say it wasn't in quite this good a condition when I got it. But we did a lot of work on it, and even got some pictures of my dad working on it, which was very cool. Engine bays, pretty traditional 302 Ford. Aluminum heads. We've got a bit of bling under here. We've got a cross-flow radiator that we worked into it, so it stays nice and cool. We've kicked it a bit old school with the fin valve covers. It's got Borgeson power steer on it, so we've got a power steer reservoir. We've got a radiator overflow reservoir that matches. Hit all the wiring. It's got AC, but you'll see, like normally the AC all comes out here. We deleted all that. All the AC lines are run under the fender. All the wiring's run, under the fenders. A lot of it's hidden. So it makes a really nice clean engine bay. As I say, I couldn't afford a $10,000 engine to put in it, so we'll put effort into it, which is just as good. Yeah, these little hood scoops are a treat. They come out really well. Front bumper, the same treatment. It's monochromatic. I think that's 2 inches narrower than a stock one. Just to tuck it into the bodywork. This one was a labour of love, I'm going to say, but it's come out really nice. This is a custom colour blue that we had made up. Matrix Paint worked with me closely. They were a great help. Like we I think this was the 13th or 14th version of this blue until we were like, that's the colour. And get a lot of comments on the colour. But it's a gorgeous car. I hope it shows up on camera the way it shows in real life. There's a lot of pearl in it. You know, you should hopefully be able to see the transitions where the sun's hitting it to where it's in the shade. The colour really does pop. You know, it's got sequential lights in the hood. The little hood blinkers are sequential. It's got sequentials on the rear. Yeah, coming around. Yeah, not sure what I'm going to do with this old girl now, because obviously I'm living in the States. This is here. Not quite sure what we're going to do with it. Don't want to sell it. Might have to sell it. You know, who knows? I'm just realistically, I'm probably just putting off that decision. But yeah, we've got the billet tail lights around here, just to add that little bit of difference to it. Nice exhaust system on it. We put the GT rear valance on it with the reverse lights and the tailpipes coming out through the valance. Again, a lot of attention to detail. Like, you Mustang guys will know that you just never get gaps like, okay, we picked up a little chip, but that happens in 4 years. You know, these gaps are just never anything like that tight. So it's a really nice car. It's fun to drive. Motor and box were out of an 86 Mustang GT, so that's the old Tremec 5-speed. But yeah, it's got, you know, AC. That was another little thing that a lot of people going to pick up on. We'll have a look at the dash. Did a lot of work on the dash. Whether you guys might need to come in a little bit. This the heater AC control panel is normally over here. We relocated that to the middle so I could build in these like in-dash air vents for the AC. Normally these are just like little plastic bezels that screw up under the dash, and they're a little bit clumsy. You know, they do the job, but they just don't look as nice as this. You know, I made the shape of these to kind of match the flow of the keys and the cigarette lighter, and it all just flows, and it's all symmetrical. You know, this is where the ashtray used to be. Well, you know, no one's ever going to smoke in this car, so we bin the ashtray. But that's part of what makes this look like a relatively stock Mustang, but when you get close and when you know these cars, it's like, this is actually quite special. So yeah, so the TMI center console. But yeah, this is yeah, pretty proud of this car, honestly. I mean, we sent the pictures in to Mustangs Monthly, and they just came straight back and said, that's our cover car. So that was my first magazine cover. So just that alone is pretty special. Yeah. Alright, well that's, yeah, I'm not sure what else to tell you guys about this one. I mean, it's a 302. It goes like a 302. There's not a lot of point in racing you up the road, because honestly it's not that fast. It's probably 300 horsepower, but you know, for my 70-year-old dad, he thought it was a rocket ship. So yeah, that's what counted. So there you go. This is sitting over here in sleepy little New Zealand. So yeah, that about wraps up my trip. I'm getting on the plane in just, you know, a couple of hours, and next video will be coming to you from back in the States. See you next time, guys.